Flips, super kicks, irrelevant chicks, and a main event that wouldn't be worthy of taking place in most people's backyards. It is time, guys, for your AEW Rampage review. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. Slightly out of date today, but I mean, it's AEW, who cares? In date, out of date, 10 years late. I mean, does it really matter? The show sucks. I could have reviewed it the moment the show went off the air, and it wouldn't have been any good anyway, so, like, literally, what is the point? But, speaking of going off the air, I am quickly going to mention the main event here. Now, normally you start a review, you start with the beginning of the show, but I actually want to jump to the end of the show, because whoever's in control here, whoever's doing this, they just do not have a fucking clue, and I'm not talking about even from a wrestling standpoint, I'm just talking about from common sense. Like, now, even back in the day, when something big happened on like an ending of Raw, the main event of Raw, you know, JR would be screaming about what just happened, and he would be, you know, hitting home the fact that, wow, look what just happened there, Austin just stunned McMahon, or, you know, Taker just buried Kane, or whatever, right? That's not the point, but he would be screaming about what actually just happened. But on AEW this week, we have Rush, right? He beats Christopher Daniels. He stands over Christopher Daniels, and then for like 30 seconds before the show goes off the air, you have Tony Schiavone, and he is like, or it was either Tony Schiavone or it was the other guy with the mask. It doesn't really matter who it was, but the point is, they were like running through, like, it was like a TV commercial, like an ad. You know, like when you listen to ads and then when they get to the terms and conditions bit, they read through it really, really fast so you don't really take any notice. Honestly, it was like this. So the main event finishes, and then the guy, he's on commentary, and he's like, oh, tune in next week to Dynamite, you're going to get this and that, and then you got this, and the tag titles are on the line, and then you got Orange Cassidy, he's sitting there taking a sleep. God, make sure you tune in Wednesday Night Dynamite. And it's like, are you fucking serious, right? The main event's just finished here, and you're advertising Dynamite. That's a major problem. You should be talking about what's just happened in the main event. You should be hitting home what's happened here in the main event. You should be going over what's just happened to finish the show. But instead, no one gives a fuck about this main event. The main event is literally just finished. Nobody cares about it. The commentary don't care about it. The fans don't care about it. And all the commentary do is care about promoting the next Dynamite. Why not promote what happened in the main event, and that alone should promote the next show? If the main event was any good, people would be going off the air thinking, holy fuck, that main event was great, I can't believe what just happened there, I need to tune into Dynamite because I can't miss what's going to happen, I need to find out what's going to, you know, what the follow-up that main event's going to be. But you don't get that. No, you get nothing. I mean, could you imagine back in the day, like Austin and Tyson are fighting or something, or Austin stuns McMahon for the first time, McMahon's laying there, and instead of Jim Ross, you know, explaining the fact, holy shit, Austin just stunned the owner of the company, instead of JR doing that, JR starts speaking in the last 20 seconds before the show goes off, and JR says, well, make sure you tune in next week, we get badass Billy Gunn versus Crash Holly in a hardcore title match that nobody cares about. We also have the debut of some boring guy from Sunday Night Heat. Fuck Austin and McMahon. Nobody cares about that. Make sure you tune in next week to see the Road Dogg take on the Godfather. I mean, what? No, fuck. Garbage. Absolute garbage. You should be putting over the main event, and they just don't do that for a couple of reasons. Well, A, the main event fucking sucked. There was nothing to put over, and B, they just don't know what they're doing. I mean, the main event should be the talking point. You should be going off the show discussing the main event, just discussing what just happened, hyping up what just happened. You shouldn't be talking about, oh, a future card, you know? Absolute garbage, man. Absolute fucking garbage. But they don't get that, and I don't understand why. It's not rocket science. You don't need to be a brain surgeon. You don't need to be in the company. You don't need to be a wrestler. You don't need to be a writer. All you have to do is have, you know, half a brain, man, a couple of brain cells, and you should be able to realise that, you know, the main point going off the air, you should be talking about the show. The focus should be on what just happened, not, you know, the shite Dynamite card next Wednesday. But anyway, enough ranting about that. It really did piss me off. Speaking of being pissed off, we opened up the night with a AEW World Trios Championship match, the Elite versus the Firm, and I do not watch, I don't watch the Elite matches. I have no interest in the Elite matches. You've seen one, you've seen them all, and that is true. Kick, kick, super kick, flip, no sell, dive, dive, no sell. Zero psychology, big move, hit a move that looks not bad, but then don't go for the pin, then hit a move that looks absolute shit and get the pin. You know, that's the Elite summed up in a nutshell. So I didn't watch it, but whatever. The Elite won, they beat the Firm. What a surprise. The Elite beat Ethan Page, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt freaking Hardy. Wow, I am fucking shocked that the Elite won this 50-50 matchup. I never seen this one coming, Tony, man. Jesus Christ. Tony Khan, Booker of the Year. Dead on. Absolutely dead on. This was garbage. Seriously, this was garbage. Why can't we get broken Matt Hardy? Or why can't we just get Matt Hardy version 1? It pops up on the screen. Matt thinks AEW fucking sucks. And I tell you what, Matt would be right if that popped up, because this show does suck. But yeah, just garbage, man. Absolute garbage. And I hate the Elite, man. Honestly, man. Tony Khan has chosen the Elite over CM Punk. What a fucking idiot. CM Punk, someone that can actually come in and move the needle. And I know a lot of people like to downplay CM Punk, and that's fine. Look, his AEW run was nothing short of abysmal. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it was great. It wasn't. But for people to say that Punk isn't somewhat of a draw, now am I talking Austin draw or Hogan? Of course not. I'm not even talking like a Cena draw, or you know, I'm not or Brock draw. I'm not saying that. But if you look at wrestlers that have like just since the Ruthless Aggression era, right? Who's a bigger draw than CM Punk? Now, apart from, I would argue, Brock Lesnar. I think you could definitely make a claim that Brock Lesnar is more of a draw in his, you know, his second spell in wrestling from 2012 onwards than he was in his first spell. But apart from Brock Lesnar, in 2023, you know, in this current period of wrestling, who's a bigger draw than CM? No one. It doesn't matter. And yes, Roman Reigns is not a bigger draw than CM Punk. CM Punk came in and he got like nearly a 1.2 million for Rampage, when the premiere only got like 700, 800,000, so he got 400,000 more than the premiere of Rampage. And you know, the premiere shows always do the best. I mean, premiere shows always do the highest rating, but CM Punk came in a week after and blew the premiere out the water. So CM Punk, if booked correctly, if done correctly, if done right, he could be a big draw in wrestling. He's certainly more valuable to AEW than the Elite. That's a no-brainer. If you don't get that, then I don't know what to tell you guys, but we're moving on, because you know what, the Elite suck, man. Tony Khan, he's happy. He's probably backstage chugging away at the fact that his boys are retained the title, so, I mean, whatever. Then we get Swerve Strickland versus Brian Pillman Jr. Swerve Strickland is being followed around by two guys that look like they belong at a KKK rally, but, you know, whatever. One of them is the former Harland on NXT. I feel like I liked Harland on NXT. I thought him and Joe Gacy worked well together. You look at this new stable Joe Gacy's with, man, and it just fucking sucks. This Harland guy legit looked like a serial killer or something like that. You look at the new guys with Joe Gacy, and they just look like, you know, fucking freaks. But whatever. Swerve Strickland wins it. Okay, I've got a big problem with this. So Swerve Strickland, he hits a Death Valley driver. I believe was it Death Valley Driver? Look, I think it was, right? I can't remember, because I did watch this last night, so bear with me. But he hits a Death Valley Driver on the ring apron, and then Brian Pillman rolls into the ring and sells his knee, and that allows Swerve to hit the Swerve Stomp for the 1, 2, 3. How the fuck can you get a Death Valley Driver, right, performed on you on the outside of the ring apron, the hardest part of the fucking ring? Your head, the back of your head, you know, hits off the ring apron, you know, the corner of the ring, and then you roll in the ring and you sell your knee. You should be knocked out. How the fuck are you selling your knee? Why are you selling your knee when you've just had a Death Valley Driver delivered to you and you've landed on the back of your head? Again, complete fucking bullshit here. It just makes no sense. Imagine Taker tombstoning somebody, and then 2 seconds later they're selling their arm or they're selling their ankle. You've just been tombstoned. You should be knocked out. You know, you should be fucking down and out. But this idiot's selling his bloody knee. I mean, what? And I just don't get it, man. Honestly, I don't get it. I feel like I'm watching amateurs here. And it annoys me because people will say, well, you don't know shit, you're not in the wrestling business. I mean, fuck it. Maybe back in the day that actually meant something, but I tell you what, man, I'd bet my life I know more than half of this fucking roster, man. They just don't know what they're doing, and they'll suck. They all suck. Swerve Strickland gets the win, then the 2 guys come in, and one of them looks like Tom McDonald, the other one just looks like, I don't know, Poundland Brock Lesnar. I don't know. They come in and they hit a very unappealing move on Brian Pillman Jr. and that was it. Then we get Toni Storm and Saraya taking on the Renegades. So basically a rip-off. Renegades are like twins. Twins looks more like incest, to be honest. They're not very appealing to look at. Toni Storm, boring as fuck. There is nothing appealing about Toni Storm. Honestly, if she found a personality, she'd probably start sucking it and uploading it to her OnlyFans because she wouldn't know what to do with it. She absolutely sucks. She is boring. I don't understand why people like Toni Storm. Everything about Toni Storm is average. I mean, average looking body, average looking face, average looking fucking ring style, average looking ring gear, average ability, below average promo. There is nothing appealing about Toni Storm. I think if she wasn't blonde, she'd probably lose about 50% of her fans. There's just nothing interesting about Toni Storm. There really isn't. Then you've got Saraya, who has came in to AEW, and I wouldn't say there was hype at the beginning, but if there was any hype, I tell you what, it's certainly died now. And I mean, who knows? She'd probably just go back to teaming up with Brad Maddox and Xavier Woods, because I think that was probably the peak of her career. It certainly went downhill since then, and it looks like Saraya can barely work. And I get it, maybe they're working tag team to protect Saraya so she doesn't need to take bumps and shit, but if that's the case, then really, like, what is the point? Why not just have her be a manager? Because it doesn't look like she's capable of doing much in the ring. But yeah, Toni Storm and Saraya get the win, and then the spray paint loser on the Renegade Twins, which I guess is correct. They're losers. They're certainly not the Bella Twins, that's for sure. I mean, they're not even remember the Blossom Twins in TNA? Holy shit, even they were better. So yeah, no, very, very poor. But I mean, whatever. What do you expect? You've got 2 twins that suck, and then you've got Saraya, who also sucks, and then you've got Toni Storm, who's just boring as fuck. So I mean, like, what do you expect? You expect something good? Then you're delusional. Then we get the main event. Oh, by the way, seen a video package of Adam Cole working his way back to AEW. Does anybody care? No. He looked like a matchstick before, and now he looks like even less of a matchstick. What is below a matchstick in terms of thinness? I don't know. But anyway, whatever it is, Adam Cole is it. And then we get the main event, Rush with Jose the Assistant and Preston Vance versus Christopher Daniels. Seriously, this Preston Vance guy, don't get me wrong, when he was in the Dark Order, that is a stable going absolutely nowhere. The Dark Order is an absolute failure that has no... You know, they've got no future. You know, they're going to have no success. They're just going to be jobbers for life. So I get it. He needs to leave them, but what has he done since leaving them? It's not like him teaming up with this Rush guy has done anything for his career. In fact, it's been terrible. Then we get Christopher Daniels, who must be about 65 now, comes out. This guy's never been good. Honestly, he's just always been a guy that's been lucky to work with better people like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. Back when he was in TNA, he basically profited off of Shark Boy's success and decided to be Curry Man. But yeah, there's just nothing great about this guy. No one's ever thought Christopher Daniels is good. The only time people have enjoyed Christopher Daniels is when he's been teaming up or working against people that are, quite frankly, a lot better than him. Now, people will say, you know, the Fallen Angel was good or whatever, but was it really good? Was he not just like a gimp that came out dressed up and like an angel? Yeah, no, I didn't think it was good. He was working with AJ Styles. I think that was as good as it got for him. And it's actually crazy to believe that this guy was supposed to be the higher power back in '99. They decided to not go that direction and keep keep it with McMahon. I mean, McMahon takes off the hood and it's like fucking Mr. McMahon, you know, it's like, he's fooled everybody. It was me, Austin, it was me all along, you know? I mean, what imagine the hood came down, it was Christopher Daniels. The entire crowd would have been like, who the fuck is this little vanilla midget? So, yeah, thank God it wasn't Daniels. But anyway, Rush beats him. Who cares? Daniels went for the best moonsault ever, and it's not even the best moonsault ever. It's a pretty tame moonsault, but whatever, you know, whatever. Rush gets his knees up though, blocks it, and then he hits the Bull's Horns finisher to win this. So, I mean, it is what it is. Daniels, I mean, he moves okay for an old guy, but, I mean, who really cares? Who really cares? And that's it, guys. That's the end of the show. Rush just stands over Daniels, celebrating, while the commentary team put over what's happening on Dynamite. And that just tells you how bad Rampage is. So, Rampage has gone off the air, and the commentary team have nothing to talk about. They've nothing to say about Rampage. They've nothing to say about the main event. They're more focused on running through the match card for Dynamite. And that just sums up what this Rampage was. It was a nothing show. It's always a nothing show. And this was nothing different. It was garbage. So therefore, it's getting a big 0 out of 10. That's exactly what this deserves. So yeah, guys, let me know what you thought down below. I think the ending to I'm not saying the ending was... I'm not saying the commentary team did a bad job because the show was bad. You know, I think they could have put on the best show ever, and the commentary team would still fuck up and talk about the next show rather than talk about the actual ending of this one. But I mean, whatever, man. Rampage is getting a 0 out of 10 for me. This is easily the worst show every week on TV. I feel like on Dynamite, it's 2 hours. The majority of the bigger stars, you know, the top guys, whatever, the main attractions in the company tend to work Dynamite. Therefore, I feel like you're more likely to get something better on Dynamite than you do on Rampage. Rampage is just a really poor hour of television, and it's the worst hour of wrestling, in my opinion, that we get on a weekly basis. So yeah, that's my thoughts, guys. I'm giving it a 0 out of 10. Let me know what you think down below. We'll catch you for the next wrestling review, which I believe will be NXT Vengeance. So yeah, we'll see what happens at NXT Vengeance. Can Braun Breaker retain the NXT title? Probably. But hopefully there'll be no kicks, flips, and fucking dives in this match against Grayson Waller. Anyway, guys, I'm out. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.